U-GeekTV.
Welcome back to the Unapologetic Football Show on U-GeekTV. I'm your host, Jarvis, Unapologetic Geek. I am joined yet again by my esteemed colleagues, Hoodie C, aka Chris Marshall, and Greg, the Gym Geek Gamer, also known as Quad G. And as you can see, Greg is not on screen. He has a surprise for us. I know he's ecstatic that a certain team lost, and I think that that's what this has to do with. But I'll turn it over to you, Greg, and hope that we don't get shut down because of what you're about to do.
We'll be all right. Lord, oh no, we have no time.
Ah, shit, here we go.
You fumbling like Quinn.
This man playing the Undertaker music. I'm officially worried. Oh my God. Apologies to the Undertaker. Oh my.
Come talk to me, Texas. Come talk to me, baby. Y'all know I had to bring it out. Ain't the dead man? Ain't he a Texas fan?
This man put on the goddamn death cloak and a fake ass Undertaker hat. This is sacrilege and disrespect, right here.
Let's get to it.
You should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself, but you had to do it.
Let me tell you what I'm
All right,
saying.
Kiki.
Longhorn tears.
What
You know, I already skipped them up. Got
Hey,
the brand
man.
new Longhorn couch. I wish
What kind of shit are you into, man? You got all these damn masks and stuff. What you and your girl got going on, bro? I'm worried, man. I am absolutely concerned at this time and place. But before we
Thanks.
even get over to that, man, we got some news. So it appears, let me move this over. My bad, new digs. It appears that there's a vacancy that we all knew was going to be a vacancy. We knew it wasn't going to be an outright firing of Mike McCarthy. We knew that it was going to be a situation where his contract wasn't renewed because, you know, that's a good old boy thing to do. And he was going to be allowed to look for another job. But, oh, wait, he was not. Jerry Jones denied Mike McCarthy his opportunity to speak to other teams, namely the Chicago Bears. Let the man walk out the door. And according to Coach Prime, he got the phone call from Jerry to come to Jerry World and be the next coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Two things. One thing, Mike McCarthy got to go see that boy, don't it? He got to go see about him a billionaire, about a bill or two. It's like he gonna sit up there and prevent that man from. Look, I'm not even a Mike McCarthy guy. I'm not a Mike McCarthy fan by any means, but I ain't gonna sit up there and prevent that man from going to seek out other work. Now, no decisions or key decisions have been made, but some could have been during that time. And you're just gonna kind of fuck him over like that. The second part of this is Prime gave a very familiar answer when asked about going to Jerry World. He said it's intriguing, but he's going to stay in Boulder. And I remember when a couple people hit him up when he was at Jackson State, he said that was intriguing, but he was going to stay in Jackson until Colorado hit him up and he got real quiet. Now, he could be telling the truth. He could be telling the truth about the Cowboys, but there's one other team that's been on the radar he hadn't said shit about, and that's that team over there in Vegas, a team whose part owner is Tom Brady. He hasn't said shit about that. Look, before we go into this any further, Chris, you've been chomping at the bit to talk about this subject, man. What are your thoughts on the possibility of Deion Sanders going to Jerry World and coaching the Dallas Cowboys?
I mean, I think it was you who said a few episodes back that your mom's a Cowboys fan, so subsequently she's a Deion fan. I mean, he bought him a ring or two. Was it two? Maybe two. He
He was
bought him a ring.
going through his hired gun phase. He did
Yeah.
it for the 49ers, then turned around and did it for them.
Right. So, I mean, I know Dallas fans will love it. I can't wait to see what happens because either way, whether it's the Vegas job or the Dallas job, if he does take either one of those, we've already shared in the group chat potential conspiracies of who could be sent where, and he's definitely gonna try to get his son to come play quarterback for him. So trading, if he does go to Dallas, I know we talked about trading Dak to Tennessee, getting that pick from Tennessee. That would be crazy. Raiders, I think he would have to trade up, possibly trade away a lot of his draft picks and some collateral to be able to get one of those top two spots from Tennessee and or Cleveland, which both of those teams need a quarterback. So good luck.
Right.
It's crazy, man. I mean, it's prime time in Dallas again. He's gonna sell tickets. I do kind of find it a little weird because I think Prime's personality, he can be a great position coach in the NFL. Like if he was a DB coach or just a corners coach, I think he could excel at that. I don't necessarily see him as a leader of men that aren't too far off from his age, I guess. College kids is a little different. You can get them with the pop and the flash. You can't get no grown man with that, bro. Like you really got to sell them on X's and O's. And that is when it comes into question because, he had a great staff around him. And when that staff got around him, that's when the team got better. So how good are you with the X's and O's? So if you don't bring your staff with you and or hire a decent staff, I don't really see it working out for him.
I can tell you right now, Warren Sapp ain't gonna be enough.
Nah.
I can tell you right today, Warren Sapp ain't gonna be enough. Look, Hall of Fame. Is he? He's in the Hall of Fame. He's Hall of Fame bound, Steve. I think he's Hall of Fame bound.
I think he's in already. Yeah.
No, he's in. He is in. Look, Hall of Fame, all that kind of stuff. There is a certain level of respect that comes with what Prime and Warren Sapp and the like have done. The other side of that is we're all entertainers at this point. Sitting up there and plugging all the stuff that you got going on, that's not going to fly the same way in the NFL. But I do believe there's a level of respect there that will that could yield some success. The part that concerns me is actual strategy, because in the NFL, like, you're going to have to actually coach. And you all know how I feel about Coach Prime, the actual coach, not the showman, not the former player, not the Hall of Famer, but the actual coach is the issue and always has been to me. In the NFL, they're not going to allow him to mask his inadequacies the way the college game would allow it. And that's not even getting to the part about he and Jerry Jones having to be on the same page. And it becomes a power struggle as to who the most popular guy is. And here's the thing: you got to have a brand new conference, press conference that you're going to have to do, because Jerry has a radio show and a press conference he has to do. Then Coach Prime going to want to do his own press conference and all that kind of shit. And it's just going to be a show. With that being said, Greg, what are your thoughts on it?
I think this is flat out a horrible decision. And you're going to have two divas in the same organization trying to basically get one team back to a Super Bowl that they probably never see. So I'm going to be completely honest. I agree with y'all 100%. Like this is on a whole nother scale now. You're not wowing anybody. You played in the NFL. We in the NFL. You're no different than us. You got Hall of Fame. You got stats. Okay, congratulations. But now you're going to be dealing with people who make millions versus students who are basically being there on scholarships. It's different now. These men don't care about your accolades as much anymore because they out there playing the game. So if you can't bring the cohesion with grown athletes already in the NFL, I think that's going to that's really going to set him back, which I don't think this is a great idea, given his tenure with how he's just up and leaving teams. And not to take away from what he has done. I mean, I know we question his coaching abilities, but in the divisions he's played in, he's done what he's supposed to do, except win a bowl game, which we ain't gonna get into that. But,
no, he hasn't done what he's supposed to do in one of them. He didn't win the division twice in one of them.
But yeah, you're right.
Go ahead.
But bringing him in with Jerry Jones, and we already know how feeble-minded, and I think the man's senile. I'm gonna just be honest. I think he's senile. Bringing him in with a senile owner, bro. I think this is just like a catastrophe. What is it? Catastrophe waiting to happen. Mm-hmm. I really think this is a recipe for disaster. It's gonna be just PR and a bunch. It's literally gonna be like a Trump tweet session between these two. Like, I do not think they're gonna get along, bro. I don't think they would ever.
I like that idea. I want to tell you why I like that idea. I'll say this before I get to the bigger part of this that speaks to me. I'm starting to have a conspiracy theory when it comes to Deion Sanders' draft grade, because now I think it's purposely low for either the Raiders or the Cowboys, whichever place he ends up. And will they waste a draft pick on Shiloh? That's debatable. I think they will.
Nah.
I know. I think they will, and it's going to be pretty late. I think they will. But Shedeur now is coming out that his draft grade isn't all that high. And I'm like, okay. The biggest thing, and Chris, you brought it up, is what do you do with Dak in that case? Because Cleveland ain't going to want him. Cleveland just went through this shit, and they still paying their quarterback, who, by the way, is out for the next year. He's out already. Nothing has happened. And Deshaun Watson is already on the shelf. Not a single down has been played next season, and that man can't play. I don't think Cleveland will put themselves in that predicament. That brings up Tennessee. I don't know why the fuck Tennessee would want to do that. Yeah, I don't. And I mean, as you go, the Giants damn sure don't want to do it. They just went through that bullshit with Daniel Jones, so they're out. I don't know what kind of collusion and tomfoolery and probably borderline illegal activity is going to take place. But Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders are going to end up in the same place together yet again. I know it's going to happen. I feel it in my bones. The other side of this is, God, please, for this show, please let that man go to Dallas. Please. We'll have so much shit to talk about, man. We're having so much shit. Before another down is played in the NFL, we can get 30 episodes out of this man. This will be the most entertaining and controversial offseason that you've seen in years. Please let this happen. Talking about this intrigue, and I bet it is. Go ahead. Chris, I thought you were about to say something. But yeah.
Oh no, I was just laughing at the points, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So also shout out to our commenters, man. McKinley is on here, and he's not too happy with you, Greg. He is not too happy with you. Rashawn is also joined us. Shout out to Rashawn. Shout out to Ed. Shout out to McKinley. These are all our homeboys. We appreciate you. Let's move on to the actual games with teams that did make the playoffs with competent coaches, or at least somewhat competent coaches. And we will start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Washington Commanders, the best game of the weekend by far. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The ascension of Jalen Daniels continues. He balled out, or he made the best plays that matter. And I had a feeling about him as a player, pause. And someone on commentary said it. He's having a Mahomes-like effect on that team. Absolutely agree with that. When the big play needs to be made, he makes it. He finds it in him somewhere from the depths, and he makes that play every single time. On the flip side of that, shout out to Baker Mayfield, man.
And Baker ball too, bro.
Shout out to him. if it was any other year, you could probably have some serious discussions about him being the MVP, to be honest. If they had been a little bit more successful, you definitely could have had those discussions. But Baker Mayfield looks like a #1 draft pick. And it's astounding what you look like when you're away from the Cleveland Browns. I mean, I got to give him the utmost the respect for the effort that he put out there. Tampa Bay went home. I think we all pick the Commanders last week?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we saw this one coming, man. The kid, it's just too much, and especially for a team that barely made it to the playoffs. But Greg, you looked at the game. What did you think of it?
Man, like you said, Brad, this was probably one of the best games of the weekend. Like, hands down, entertaining from left to right. To me, I felt like this game was going by so fast, bro. I didn't want it to end. I was upset.
It was going by fast.
I would have loved to see the overtime with this game. I would have loved to see the game down to the stretch.
You were a physics lesson away from it happening.
Man, that was wild. That was wild. Like, that had to have been like the craziest thing I think happened this weekend. I'm trying to think of all the games that happened. I think this game in itself was truly a playoff game. Man, to be honest, it could have been almost a Super Bowl worthy game.
It was very exciting.
Went down. And I'm hoping to see more games like this as we come before we get to the Super Bowl. But man, y'all kind of know where I feel this weekend.
Yeah, we know what you're waiting to get to, chomping at the bit. Chris, what were your thoughts on Tampa Bay, on the Commanders and the Buccaneers?
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, we all called it. And like you said as well, shout out to Baker, man. You know, I gave him his flowers last week. Got to do it again. You know, as much as I don't rock with him and Oklahoma, I don't like him. He balled all year, man. Over 4,000 yards, 40 touchdown passes. He balled out for sure. But number 5 is special, bro. And I saw a graphic earlier where their last 5 games were all won on the last play of the game. So that just speaks to his plus factor. Man.
He's been doing it all year. The game against Chicago. Yep. That was he's been doing it all year. And it's hard to deal with a team that just knows how to win. And then it's a different atmosphere. So you would think, okay, maybe, the lights are too bright for him and anything like that. Man, he played like a veteran. He's been playing like a veteran all year. But you spoke to that earlier during the season with the podcast. You spoke to the fact that he's played so much college football. He may have been more prepared than your average rookie, and that shows. That play, that scramble for the first down to continue to drive, to go downfield and seal the game, incredible. Again, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen type play there. His scrambling is not his primary thing, but he's absolutely comfortable with doing it. And to me, that's the real threat of a dual QB. Like, he has the accuracy. Sure, there are some things that he could work on, but he has the accuracy. But when the game is on the line, he's not afraid to put it in another gear and get the job done. So, yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to the Washington Commanders. But I believe it's time to make those preparations for Cancun, because Detroit is next. Detroit is rested. Detroit is a team that honestly is so disciplined and well put together that I think the Commanders about to get stomped next week, unfortunately. But hell of a year, and we'll be back to talk about it. So next up, the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And honestly, there's not a lot to talk about on field with this game. The bigger thing is, and we can get to it because they were monkey stomped. There's 2 subjects to come with this. The first one we'll get into right now is Lamar Jackson your MVP. I know Derrick Henry did the heavy lifting, but with this win and then moving on to the next round, is Lamar Jackson still your MVP? Josh Allen also had a hell of a game, but where are you guys at with the MVP race with this impressive win over the Steelers? Because honestly, the game was over in the first half. They just allowed the Steelers to score 2 touchdowns. So, Chris, who's your guy?
Yeah, man, MV3. I got L Boogie winning his third one, man. Like you said, Derrick Henry, he definitely showed up this weekend in a heavy way. Pause. And he showed up all year, right? He finished just shy of 2,000 yards himself. And I know people like to try to discredit Lamar for that, but again, like the year that Joe Burrow had, phenomenal, right? He only beat Lamar by 2 passing touchdowns with a 1,900-yard back in the backfield. So, come on, man. He threw for over 4,000 yards this year, over 800 yards rushing with those 40-plus touchdowns with only 4 interceptions. Like, his efficiency was crazy. I think he finished third.
He had a better year
all
than
time.
last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, like, he finished third in QBR of all time for a season, falling just short of Aaron Rodgers 2 years. Yeah, bro. I mean, there's nothing else you can't say about the guy, man. Every year he comes back, and every year he just keeps proving the doubters wrong of a running back and whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, he also played a tougher schedule than Josh Allen. He also beat him head to head.
He played every goddamn man. Everybody,
played everybody, man.
Like I don't understand.
I got him walking away with it.
They're trying to make the same debate, and I brought this up in the prior episode. They're trying to make the same case they made for Aaron Rodgers with, I think, their last MVP, which I absolutely did not agree with. They're talking about the efficiency and all that kind of shit. And I saw Joe Burrow and Tom Brady have a better year than him. Both of them did. His team had more success, but both Tom Brady and Joe Burrow had better success. Well, here's the thing. The team record is not better than what the Bills did. However, Lamar Jackson's numbers, top to bottom, they're better than what Josh Allen did. And then they're going to say something, it's Lamar fatigue, or, kind of like Jordan fatigue and all that kind of, that's bullshit. Get a man his third MVP. He was the best player in the league. Easily, right. And bar none. Greg, what are your thoughts on Lamar being the MVP?
I mean,
do we got this wrong or not?
Nah, I think it's solidified, bro. I think it's solidified after that ass whooping they put down. I mean, Derrick Henry was truck sticking everybody.
Jesus.
Like, once I saw him lay that stiff arm to old buddy, I was like, bro, you got to go back and see.
That was a slap disguised as a stiff arm because he wound up. Like, go back and look at it. He wound up and popped him in the face
and thumped him like he was being disobedient. Like, it was just terrible. Just to see how that man was running through their defense. I mean, it was a great game. I got to give it to him, but I still think L Boogie got this, bro. I think this is his year. Like, I don't see nobody else. I mean, Josh Allen ain't been throwing at us like a bad habit, but man, it's
yeah. Yeah. So real quickly, the other part I want to get to, and this I'm not talking about Russell Wilson. I'm not talking about Pickens. Nobody. Is it time for for Mike Tomlin to move on?
It is.
Okay. The other part of that is, who do you get? Who do you get? So I can't think of his name right now. The defensive coordinator for really the DC and the OC for the Lions are both going to be hot commodities. I don't think either one of them go. And it's like, okay, which one do you want? Do you want the next step going to the Super Bowl, or do you want the status quo of just being able to have a winning record and possibly making the playoffs every year? Because it's not like Mike Tomlin has done anything wrong necessarily. He just can't get over the hump. And then he doesn't have a quarterback. Like, he's in the same division with Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, and in the same conference with Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. What do you want the nigga to do? Like, that's one part of it. But at the same time, and that defense has been solid, but I don't know what to do. This is one of the strangest cases. Like, he hasn't gotten them to another level in so long. What is that, 10 years ago, I believe, was let's see. They went to that Super Bowl. No, it's been longer than that. They went to that Super Bowl against it's been 15 years. Yeah, 15 years this year. That was the last Super Bowl that they went to. Not necessarily won because Green Bay won that one. The last Super Bowl they went to was 15 years ago. And I believe their last playoff win has been not that long, but pretty long too. I believe so. So what? It's like you're stagnant. I want to compare it to Andy Reid and the Eagles before he went to Kansas City. I want to compare it to that. But I'm rambling. What are your thoughts on where we are with Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers? And Greg, I'll kick it back to you.
It's time, man. Mike did look like he had no passion in his eyes. I know he usually has that stern face, but it was almost as if he could kind of feel like his time was coming. Like he didn't care about the last couple of losses. Even in this game against Baltimore, it just didn't feel like he even prepared himself to win. It was just like whatever the outcome of this game is, it is what it is. And I'm not sure if it's just him not having a passion for the game or he just feels like it's some bullshit around his name. But it's just it's kind of making him as a black coach look bad. Because it's kind of like, bro, you one of the few black coaches that didn't survive, then you out here, just, and my daddy would say, you peeling around, like, bro, like, get your shit together, dog. Like, come on, man, we need you. Like, you one of the black forces that we have in the league right now that we kind of still holding on to, but the past couple of games, bro, it's just like he just like, man, just pay me the rest of mine, and I'm gonna be out, y'all. Like we straight, y'all will be good, and get my meals.
Yeah. I guess so, and it does look like some piddling around, but yeah, I agree. That same passion isn't there, and it's like everybody loves Mike Tomlin. He's awesome, but let's see who's the last person. I remember what was his name? The coach who was with the Bengals forever. And it's like nothing he could do. It was impossible to fire him. Is it Marvin Lewis?
About Marvin Lewis, yeah.
Yes. Marvin Lewis was, I thought he had tapes on everybody. But at this point, I kind of have to compare the two. Like, why aren't we all saying, all right, it's time for Mike Tomlin to go? But on the flip side of it, like, again, who do you get? Mike Vrabel is gone, which I know, Greg, you want to speak on it, and you can at this time.
No, Mike Vrabel.
So what's wrong with Mike Vrabel?
I mean, if he accepted the job, fuck that dude.
He's already accepted the job. He ain't going to turn down the check. He going to turn down the check. You cannot expect a Caucasian man to turn down the check.
I'm not even a Patriots fan no more. I'm not even a Patriots fan no more.
All right. So here's the thing. I truly do believe Kraft just wanted Mike Vrabel the whole time. And not in a Diddy way. He wanted him to be his coach the entire time. And I'm okay with that. The way he went about did it, not necessarily, not so much. But him going with the coach that he wanted, I'm fine with that. Jerod Mayo probably won't get another opportunity because of how things was handled. And to that degree, you know what? I agree. My thing is, who's your team going to be if you're going to jump ship? You're a free agent right now? You better not even pick the Kansas City Chiefs. I know they got damn money.
Man, I wouldn't pick them. I wouldn't pick them if it was my life depended on it. But if I'm gonna jump ship, I'm gonna have to take a minute because all y'all ass.
Oh man, Chris, did you have any thoughts about Vrabel and Jerod?
Nah, not really, bro. I mean, like you said, you know what I'm saying? He got his guy, ex-Patriot who everybody loved. So, of course, he was hand fit for the job.
It'd be funny if they turn around and have a worse record, though. Like, that'll be hilarious. I actually kind of want that. Next game up, Buffalo Bills versus Denver Broncos. We all look like asses.
Yep.
talking about the Denver Broncos could possibly have a chance. They got right up in there, man, and didn't do a goddamn thing. Nobody. They showed up for one drive, and after that one drive, it's like they forgot about the rest of the game. It was a run defense, no pass defense. Everybody was able to do anything that they wanted. What this is going to be about is what I talked about a couple weeks ago. I got to watch Bills games on mute. I do.
Man.
The way they talk about, they compare that man to Michael Jeffrey Jordan. This man ain't won. He ain't won not one MVP, not one Super Bowl, not one AFC championship. He is still getting off, pause, on losing in the last 30 seconds to Pat Mahomes. He gives more glaze than Pat. And Pat is a 3-time champion at this point.
Facts.
I have a bigger discussion that I want to have here. Do you all have any thoughts about this game? Chris, I'll start with you.
Yeah, we go quickly with it, man. Like you said, Denver just looked like they didn't show up, man. Bo Nix looked like a rookie, like he did at the beginning of the season. That defense got shredded on the ground, man. James Cook, I think he had like 120 yards in 3 quarters. Like, he was killing them, bro. So, like, once you did that, then, like, the bullshit that just starts getting thrown up and catches being made and all that shit. Yeah, it got bad real quick.
It just some dumbass shit just started to happen. And get what? Everybody I bet on Prize Pick ain't do shit in this game. Every single fucking one of them didn't do a goddamn thing. It was people getting the ball, and I was just like, oh, yeah, this is bull. Now I further hate Josh Allen, to be honest with you. This man done set up and got a rushing touchdown in all these games, and I knew it was a setup before I pressed the button to bet. And I bet on his ass to get a rushing touchdown. He had like he didn't want to run for it all of a sudden. He did everything but advance the ball up the field enough for a touchdown. I'm pissed off about that. Greg, that's an overlook what you're saying, but I really want to hear you guys' thoughts on something else. Because nothing in this game really was interesting. All right, I gave the speech to JSU before the Celebration Bowl. I'm about to give it to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, what are you prepared to do? Tell me. What are you prepared to do to prove to these folks once and for all that you that guy and Josh Allen still ain't shit? This is the MVP Bowl as far as I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. These are the top 2 candidates. They're going against each other. We're going to find out in the middle of the field. And I'm not even going to make it about color. I'm just going to make it about commentary. I'm so goddamn tired of Josh Allen getting the passes that Lamar Jackson get criticized for. And this is the time to put an end to all this shit. Ravens, black ass Baltimore, the city. I need y'all to stand up, rise up, do whatever you need to do, whatever your catchphrase is, and get past these motherfuckers, man. Get past Bills Mafia. I need y'all to lock the fuck in and get this done. Lamar, give him 7 touchdowns if you can. We can't let this stand. I can't stomach another week of hearing about how great Josh Allen is for doing nothing. For doing shit that I saw Pat Mahomes do years ago. I can't keep going through that. Am I tripping? Greg, please tell me if I'm tripping or not.
Hell no. Put Derrick Henry on defense so he can stiff arm Josh Allen. Just put his ass out there.
We got to get him out of there.
Out there, knock him out. But like you said, man, I don't want to hear no more about this Josh talk after this game. Like, I really don't, because it's kind of like they trying to water down the fact that they obviously are going to give the MVP to Lamar. And I think what they're trying to do is it's like subliminal messaging. You know what I'm saying? Like how Coca-Cola do their commercials and stuff like that. You be sitting in bed, don't even want a Coke, and now you find yourself driving to Walmart 24 hours, go get a damn Coke. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to sway the majority into basically saying Josh Allen is our guy, but he's not. He's not. Y'all can't convince us when we see the actual football games. There is no convincing, man. We watching the games.
Lamar got the eye test, quote unquote, people, which people love, especially NBA fans, but I'm not getting into that. They got the eye test. He has the stats. Ooh. What is it? What more do you need? And just because he plays in a place that looks like it snows from hell, frozen hell or whatever, it doesn't make him Josh Allen is a better player or anything like that. The MVP is black, okay? He is black. And it's okay. He played for a black ass city. It is okay. Please send Buffalo home. Please. Please. God,
In
please.
a disrespectful manner.
Ed had a question. He said, "Do you actually believe Lamar can stand up for the moment?"
Hell
For
yeah.
the love of God, I hope so, Ed. I hope so. I hope, because if he falls in the presence, of the great white hope, I'm gonna be embarrassed.
Man.
I'm gonna be embarrassed at that point. And you know what? That at that point, you're gonna make me cheer for the team that my team is in their division, and this other team that is actually going to be stomped by them. I'm going to have to cheer for the Kansas City Chiefs at that point. Like, I don't care.
Whoa.
I'm going all black. I'm going all black on that, because I don't think y'all niggas understand, bro. If this motherfucker get an MVP award and a Super Bowl this year, we'll never hear the end of it. You talking about the league is rigged and all that kind of shit. You gonna see some shit, boy. Let me tell you, Trump is back in office. Trump is back in. All these people need is a MAGA quarterback. This is serious. This is very serious. In the age of great black quarterback play, these pundits, these people want Josh Allen to get this award and this Super Bowl. We cannot let that happen.
Bro, we got to tag Lamar. We got to
tag. And this is not about, I'm not making this about race. I'm really making it about how people are going to talk about race if it happens. And it can't.
Right.
It can't. Now, do I want Josh Allen to be healthy? Absolutely. Do I want him to win? Absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely the fuck not. All right. So to the game on screen, which is an embarrassment as a fan, to be honest with you. The Houston Texans, after about a quarter and a half of nothing, found their groove because they were at home. The crowd uplifted them. And honestly, there were two issues. I'm laying that loss at the feet of Justin Herbert. Absolutely. He has to be better in those moments, right? But goddamn, Quentin Johnston. Like, what position did you get drafted to play at this point? Every time the ball comes at him, it feels like maybe he has arachnophobia and a spider is attached to it, and he just freaks out and just drops the shit. I don't understand what it is about him and the concept of catching the football. This is the same man who told us his mom ain't gonna have to work no more, and she getting perilously close to having to clock back in, right? Like, I don't know what it is with him in the football, and then it becomes contagious because I saw Disley drop a surefire catch, and it just, Larry McConkey, God bless his heart. He did everything he could. I wanted them to start treating him like Cooper Kupp and just keep throwing him the ball at one point. Just keep feeding it to him. The boy showed up. He was the only one that really showed up to play on the offensive side, because we had some stupid penalties and stuff as well. But defensively, we were locked in until that last interception. No, it was the third interception. He threw 4. That third interception, the defense was gassed. And they were like, fuck it. And everybody was ready to go home. It was a great season. I enjoyed the progress that we made. But to go out like that against a team that I know we could have beaten, we went out kind of sad. I don't want to hear anything Greg has to say about this because I know he on some hating ass shit today. I'm going to call on him, but Chris, please go first. Please go first because I don't feel like hearing him yet.
Wow.
Hey, man. So first of all, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to one of the Houston Texans. Of course, you know they're in my division, so it's always fuck them. But shout out to Derek Stingley Jr., man. I'm glad he's finally showing everybody what he was capable of. Because I get the fucking aura of Ahmad Gardner, but I told everybody that Derek Stingley was the best corner in that draft class. And not only did he make first team All-Pro this year and backed it up, he was also the first player this past weekend in NFL history to get at least 5 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and force a fumble in the same game. So shout out to Stingley, man. He LSU kid, Louisiana boy. Gotta rock with him, man. Shout out to Stingley.
He felt like he was everywhere the entire afternoon. He just felt like he was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Tyree said he still ain't better than Sauce.
Hey, I ain't calling that man no damn Sauce, bro.
That's why I brought it up. I know how much you hate that nickname.
Tomato, bro. You like corners to get past deflections. I like corners who get picks. I like the ball back.
Wow.
So I ain't mad at you, big dog. Do your thing.
That's real shady, man. I don't know how people should feel about that. All right, Greg. All right, Greg, go ahead with your sacrilege and blasphemy.
I'm not gonna, man. Look, what? I wasn't even gonna say nothing. It was a hard-fought game. Both teams. Fuck that. I told y'all they wasn't winning that game. And y'all ain't listen. And you can blame McKinley because he a Texas fan and he a Chargers fan. He brought that bad voodoo on y'all, and I told y'all Texas was gonna take this. I told you it was gonna take it. And they beat the shit out of y'all. But I'm gonna be respectful. I'm not gonna get disrespectful because y'all, you know what I'm saying? It was a good game. It was a hard-fought game. Everybody came out,
You ain't gotta sit up here and lie. You talking like them goddamn people who be glazing Josh Allen now. I'm sick of this shit. This shit is nauseating, man. It's nauseating. But in all seriousness, I'm encouraged by the progress that we made this year. I trust my coach, but if Justin doesn't continue to progress, then I know how it's about to go. The lens or the focus is about to turn because you don't have a bad coach anymore. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, real quick on that. I don't want to take too much time, but
go ahead.
Yeah, man. I know what you're saying about Justin Herbert. I feel like it was on his weapons more so than him, man. I know he has some untimely throws, but the drops egregious, and it hurts even more because Quentin Johnson is a TCU frog, and that just hurts my heart. But I do want to talk about the regression of Justin Herbert really quick. I unfortunately think it's just the situation he's in. Like, he was making strides, first 2-3 years. I think that's just Harbaugh's offense, man.
I think Harbaugh stripped him down to rebuild him. That's what it kind of feels like. It feels like he's and he was efficient. Yeah, I mean, before that game, he only had 3 interceptions, but he had threw 4 in one game.
Yeah.
And that goes to the weapons too. But I'm saying he's going to have to make a significant leap because the media is starting to turn on him. Like, I'm hearing it.
Yeah,
right. They're starting to turn on him. And when that starts to happen, I don't trust our owners to just kind of take that with a grain of salt because they've made some questionable decisions. I don't think you should move off of them too quickly or anything like that. I think he's going to be fine. But we are talking about an organization. I understand the circumstance that Drew Brees did get hurt. But it's a similar situation like don't move too hastily. Don't move too quickly. I think Justin is the guy. I've seen him go back and forth with Pat Mahomes for years, even though we got a losing record against him. Right. I think he has what it takes to get the job done, and I hope that patience is exercised with that. So, all right. This is another game. This is another game because we didn't have a lot of entertaining games. We only had one. The mess of what happened is more entertaining than what happened on the field. The Green Bay Packers are washed. Just get them out of here. They're done. It's not really a lot to talk about. Jordan Love, I don't know what to make of him at this point. Like he has weapons everywhere, and then he kind of regresses and it's almost Jameis-esque in a way. You don't know what's about to happen when he steps on the field, but you know he has all that talent. Like honestly, Aaron Rodgers would probably kill for this team at this point with his whack ass, but he left. And like you're looking at Jordan Love and you expect more from him, but he gives you really nothing in these instances sometimes. And all year he's been a bit of a struggle. And I know he's been struggling a bit because he was one of my fantasy quarterbacks and I eventually had to bench. So it's nothing really to talk about on that. The Philadelphia Eagles situation is so odd. You would think that this team was struggling the way they're acting on the field. The defense looks fine. The offense looks like they've taken significant steps backwards because they have a all-star running back that they can actually count on and rely on. And you would think that everybody would be happy, but they're not. Greg, I'll start with you because the drama is clearly there between AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts. Do you think they can win the Super Bowl with all this drama?
Man, you can definitely fake it till you make it. You can definitely.
We've seen it, right?
Yeah, we've seen it. I mean, AJ Brown said, if this don't work out, bro, my book sales then went up, so fuck it. But I think he still wants that Super Bowl. But they can, I believe they can put their differences aside until after the game, and then we need to go ahead and book a Netflix, had them to just duke it out. Like, get them on there and let them duke it out. But I really do feel like the animosity is going to be an issue. I feel like something's going to happen in that off season. I feel like we are going to have a show that's going to have their animosity come up in it, and it's going to be major. It is going to be really bad. But I think they can hold it together until the end of the season and then just let the boys swing it. Let them boys duke it out.
And here's the funny part about this. I know for a fact they were like best friends, like thick as thieves. Like I know people who know AJ Brown, and they're like, that was his dog or whatever. And then you had, I forgot what player it was that slipped up a couple of weeks ago and was like, he's like, they used to be cool. And it was matter of factly or whatever, which I think more players need media training because why the fuck would you get up there and say that? But yeah, it's such an odd situation. And it's clearly because AJ isn't getting involved. By the way, I also put AJ on my prize picks. Thought these motherfuckers got it together. And look who didn't get a touchdown. He was throwing the ball to everybody else but AJ Brown. And now I'm starting to take it personally. But Chris, how far do you think the Eagles can go? And by the way, the Eagles' next matchup is we're getting ready to talk about them soon. The Rams. But anyway, how far do you think they can go?
I think the question for them isn't the drama. I just don't think they have the talent this year. They can definitely win with the drama, but that Rams game is going to be tough. And then you have to play the winner of Washington and Detroit, who, we're all projecting to be Detroit. I think top to bottom, I think both of those teams might be better than you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be tough for them to do that and then beat the AFC champion to win the Super Bowl. Like, I don't think the team has that level of talent this year. Like you said, I mean, their offense has regressed, even with all the weapons around Jalen Hurts. So I think if there could be an upset this coming week, I think it could be the Rams beating the Eagles.
the thing that the Eagles have that puts them in a deficit against everybody else is that all these other teams are more cohesive. And for the most part, they're more offensively gifted on in practice, not on paper. On paper, I would take the Eagles offense. Like the Eagles offense should be putting up damn near 50 points on everybody. But on paper, I mean, in practice, it's not really the same case. We're gonna go ahead and get to it. I think the Rams do it. I think the Rams do it. The Rams are my favorite type of team. Yeah, we fought hard and we had some struggles along the way, but honestly, this is where we're supposed to be, and we don't give a fuck no. And when you playing a team, they're gonna line up opposite of your ass and they don't give a fuck as it is if they go home or not. On top of that, man, and I meant to bring this up on the Chargers game. Then you got a team who got family back home. They don't know if their house gonna be there when they get home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the Los Angeles, with the fires in California, and my heart goes out to anybody that's going through there. And I believe I can confidently say amongst my peers that we're all praying for y'all and hoping the best for you all. But getting back to how that fortifies this team, like that team had to go to a neutral site, which some would say was kind of unfair to them in a way, but what the fuck are you gonna do? They went out there and beat Minnesota's ass, top to bottom, just clocked their ass. They dog walked them from one end zone to another. And to be honest, I enjoy it. I enjoy how hard-nosed of a team the Rams are and how confident of a coach Sean McVay is. And Nick Sirianni is kind of an idiot. You have a locker room that's honestly kind of falling apart, even though Saquon appears to be trying to keep it together. And you got some dogs on one side who really have kind of been underestimated to a point, and they ready to kick some ass. You already said how you think it's going to play out. Greg, do you feel the same? Do you feel that the Rams are getting ready to send Philadelphia home and us head first into their offseason drama?
I'm gonna say this first, like back to the Los Angeles fires. My heart really goes out to all those families and everything. And I want to stray away from how the media is trying to show certain demographics that, you know, they try to make it seem like they were stealing. My heart goes out heavily for people that had to sleep in their car because they didn't have any way to get to their family members going through this. I know they put a big stride on the celebrities, but we got real life people that don't know what's going to be next. They can't get hotels. They sleeping out of their car. So my heart goes out to that. And in this game, when they said Los Angeles is behind their team, dog, I had the Vikings winning it all. And they came out the first play and just beat
Monkey Stone.
That team was on that whole city was on the field playing with them. I think if the city stayed behind them like that, bro, it's a wrap. The Rams got them one, bro.
If the Rams make it past them, Detroit might be in trouble.
Big trouble.
Detroit might be in trouble, and I'm dead ass serious. Like if the Rams make it past the Eagles, bro, shit. If I'm Detroit, I want to see them. Because they're going to scrap and they got a good coach. Like, I would love to see it. Like, I don't want to look ahead. And for the most part, I can't in good faith and consciousness pick Philadelphia for the reasons I just said. Philadelphia ran against an inferior team who they could just knock around. And that's ultimately why they got past. Like, if Green Bay could have got their shit together at any point, they could have taken that game. The Rams ain't going to let you get your shit together. You're going to have to knock them out. And I don't think Philadelphia is ready to knock anybody out the way they're looking. I don't. What were your thoughts on the game, Chris?
We talking about this Rams game?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Shoot.
Look, he does no thoughts.
Yeah, nah. I thoroughly enjoyed it, like you said, bro. Our esteemed colleague Greg did pick the Vikings. So I know he had to get some get back this weekend from all the success he was having. So I was having a blast last night, man. Rams tying the NFL record with 9 sacks in a game. Like
that shit was bananas.
Wow.
They had Sam Darnold seeing ghost again, boy.
I forgot to talk about Sam Darnold out of all of this. Let me tell you
Seeing
shit,
ghost, man.
Let me tell you something about this motherfucker, bro.
McKinley.
Sam Darnold, I really wanted better for him. You know what I mean? I really did want to trust that he could do all right. And he looked like he had blood in his eye. He had that glassy ass look. I thought it was like maybe checking for a concussion or something. He looks like he didn't know who he was or where the fuck for. His comeback player of the year award could be in jeopardy at this point because he looked exactly like who we thought he was. I told my daughter, because she's this is like her first year really being into football. And I told her, all the weapons in the world can't save you if you ain't got nobody to throw to him. And the Rams did everything they could to make sure he could not get those throws off. They kicked his ass from one side to the next. Somebody on commentary, whoever that asshole was, I can't remember who it was, but he said, boy, the future really is in question for you. Yeah, goddamn it, it is. Shout out to JJ McCarthy. Your job was saved last night. You ain't got nothing to worry about. Trust me. You're going to be able to play. All right. So let's get to some bullshit, right?
Let's get to it.
Hey, we got to let Greg go first.
Greg, I'm not even going to tee you up. Hey. The floor is yours.
Hey. Let me get to it because I called these games. McKinley, you still watching? Is you still watching? Because I wrote down some stuff for you, buddy. Hold on. Let me start with it. Steve Sarkis. I don't believe he had faith in y'all, dog. To run a shotgun play and y'all was from the front door to the kitchen table.
Wait a minute. He can play by play analysis.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Texas finna get that ass whooped. Y'all were right there on the goal line. He said shotgun. Nigga, y'all was right next to the front door. The kitchen table was behind y'all. Y'all literally could have just walked in. That's okay. All right. Not to mention y'all lost the Alamo Bowl to Washington, so that's still embarrassing. Broke asses. Okay. Another thing is your colors. I'm gonna go with your colors. Your colors look like your sunset, that's basically what your bowl game's looking like. Sunset of that bitch, because y'all ain't getting one. Let's keep going. Your weak ass schedules. You lost to Georgia twice, the only SEC team y'all could hold up to. And not to mention, Georgia is renowned for this year for going to overtime. They beat y'all ass in the overtime. It only took them one. Okay, hold on. Let's keep going. Ohio beat y'all ass like they had a cattle prod against y'all. Isaiah Bond and Matthew Golden are gone, so y'all finna suck again. And let me help you out on the D-line. Most of your D-line gone. So from the way I'm looking at it, y'all might as well just pack up and move. Y'all ain't even the Longhorns no more. Y'all just horns. Take this with you and bury it. Just go ahead and bury it. Find y'all a little plot in Texas and bury yourself. It's a done deal. It's a done deal, Brody. But on this game right here, I told people not to count Notre Dame out. Do not count Notre Dame out. But now it's going to be a game where Ohio probably finna take this. I hate to say it. Ohio came out with a passion. I love that last play they had when they knocked him on his ass. He scooped up the fumble, and he returned that bitch for a touchdown. That was one of the best plays I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I'm so happy it happened on Texas. I hope McKinley's still watching because I'm still sipping on these damn Longhorn tears right now because I'm loving every bit of it.
Goddamn. Well,
hi, I'm done.
So, looking at the other side of it, first of all, I hate both of these teams. I do not care. I do not care about the national championship. We're going to talk about it because that's what we do here on the Unapologetic Football Show. We talk about it. We talk about football. I do not care about this game. I gotta watch it because it's a part of my job now. But I really don't want to. I hate both of these teams with a passion. Notre Dame is one of the most overrated organizations, whether it's collegiate or professional, that I've ever seen. Period. And the other side of that is Ohio State. I can't forgive them for the national championship they stole from the Miami Hurricanes in what, 2001,
I knew you
2002.
were gonna bring that up.
I can't forgive them for that. I can't move past it. But I will say this: this is one of the most blue chip national championships we've seen. I'll say since Georgia, even though Georgia is not as blue chip as Alabama, we did get Georgia versus Alabama that year. But yeah, this is a pretty big one. Then we got Notre Dame versus Alabama. You know, you had all that kind of stuff going on, all those games. But yeah, I got Ohio State, and I think they're gonna stop Notre Dame out. I think the jig is up, so to speak. I think the jig's up. And yeah, Ohio State is about to be a national champions, and I think we said that already. But yes, with that being said, what are your predictions? I'll start with you, Chris, because Greg has said playing enough.
Oh man, I think, like you said, bro, I think the jig is up. This Ohio State defense is built to take away everything that Notre Dame does offensively. That interior D line has 200-300 pounders on it. You're not just about to run QB power up the middle. They linebackers are fast, ex-safeties. They hit. They probably have the best safety tandem in the nation with Lathan Ransom and Caleb Downs. Their corners are going to come up. They're going to play press man. They're going to grab you. They're going to hold you. And I don't think necessarily Notre Dame has the receivers to be able to separate from them, much like when Ohio State played Penn State earlier this year. Receivers couldn't get open. And I think that Notre Dame defense is going to come out heavy, but I think they're going to make the mistake of – and they have Gray, who is a sophomore, and I think Leonard, number 15, he's a freshman. So they've been able to come out and play man coverage on everybody that they've played against. If they come out and play man coverage against Ohio State, JJ is going to have 150 at the half again. He is going to eat them alive. Pause. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, yeah, it's clean sweep at this point, man. I got Ohio State. I got them thumping them a little bit. Pause again.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, this is gonna be it. And Greg, you did have Ohio State beat Notre Dame, right?
I did.
Now, I will say this: Notre Dame does have a black head coach. I'm just going with my head more so than my heart. Like common sense. Like Ohio State is the best team. They're the best team.
It's story too, man.
Yeah, like it would be. I guess it would be great if Notre Dame were able to pull this off with a quarterback who's not really a quarterback, but
with the ex-Buckeye head coach, like
right.
Come on, man.
However, if there was a world where Ohio State lost, boy, Ryan, he'd kind of be in trouble, wouldn't he?
I told you after they lost to Michigan,
if they
Michigan don't win that natty, he gone.
Yeah, that Michigan shit is really what will get him fucked up. I think.
All right.
Hey, McKenna wants you to know that
I see it. Yeah, I see it. Yeah. Y'all ain't making shit but the playoffs back to the parking lot. That's it. First dibs. Y'all ain't going nowhere but back to the parking lot, bro. Y'all might as well keep y'all bus running. I know it's diesel, so it ain't gonna burn that much gas during the game.
Hey man, let's get back to it, man. We gotta get up out of here. Let's see, take this off. All right, so man, like I said, we gotta get up out of here. I appreciate everybody for coming through, for showing support, for coming, for keeping us laughing and keeping us going this evening. Follow the Unapologetic Geek on Facebook. Follow who else? I think it's U_GeekTV on Instagram. Those are the only two I have right now. Continue to like, continue to share, continue to subscribe, continue to check the channel out. Got a lot more stuff cooking. The Unapologetic Opinion Show is coming. That's going to be, we'll go through movie reviews, movie news, things like that. It's going to be a good time. Greg, it looks like you were about to plug something. I know you have a Twitch. Go ahead and shout that out.
Jim Geek Gamer, man. Jim Geek Gamer on Twitch as well as Instagram, man. Follow your boy so y'all can see me play college football and beat the shit out of Texas again.
Until next time, from Hoodie C, from Quad G, and from myself, Jarius Unapologetic Geek, we are the Unapologetic Football Show right here on U-GeekTV, and we are out.